Hey guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Today we're back over on the YouTube account by your choice. Now we did put a poll up yesterday which account we wanted to play. All of you said the YouTube account. We had 50% of you said that, and then wishlist was the next one, and then the free to play account. Thank you guys very much for joining me for live stream, guys. We have 83,000 diamonds, so we have a lot of summons that are coming, but we're gonna wait to do the summons because we know Lady Simona is going to be up on Tuesday with the newest Greyborn that is coming. So we had Shemira, we had Simona. Overall on the test server, she is pretty big. I think she's going to be another hero that we are going to have to build just for the simple fact of the energy regeneration, the damage she's doing. Seems like she is going to be in a bunch of different formations. We got Brian here, we got Major, we got Primo. It looks like Arthur's here, that one guy. Simone, Cortec, Dark, Blaine, and Jovan is here, as well as Tommy. Thank you guys for joining me again for the stream. I'm going to go through here now. We haven't logged on this account yet, so I wanted to go in, hop and grab a couple of our things, and I'm going to show you kind of what I do on the day-to-day, guys. We go in here, we do get our fast rewards. Now, we do the fast rewards 5 times every day, so we actually take it all the way up to 200 diamonds. And the essence that you get out of here, looking at our baits, looking at our cores, looking at our twisted essence, definitely want to use those fast rewards, guys. I think it is something that people really underestimate. Now, the friends list, it looks like Lumi has been offline for 4 days, guys. So we're going to drop a Lumi come out, first come, first serve to the friends list. We're going to pick up our mail right here. I have been scoring incredibly well. Now, this is something that we've actually driven quite a bit when it comes to the treasure scramble. We are ranked 90, as you can see right there. That not only gives us the badge, but the big thing is the time emblems and the Stargazer scrolls, guys. This is the reason why we farm it. This almost puts us at 200 Stargazer scrolls, but this is the reason why the treasure scramble, why we have focused on building out the heroes within these comps because of the rewards that we have in here. In addition, we do get some additional chests in there, some tier 3. We also get a lot of additional badges in there. So really cool to see what's happening. Pulled the trigger. Not too much. It's been kind of a nice, relaxed day today. So again, we're going to go through, we're going to do the dailies. All of the Halloween events at this point have been completed. So most players are done with the Halloween events. Starting to see, I'm happy to see that Awakened Shemira is in your SS tier. Yes. So the big thing, guys, is the Awakened version of Shemira, just like all of the heroes, it does take a while to figure out exactly where they fit in formations, which again, it did take a little bit of time to get the Awakened version of Shemira to fit in some formations. The only place currently that we are not seeing her at all is the Nightmare Corridor. Now, again, some of the game modes are very dependent on the boss fights. She doesn't do incredibly well with the boss fights. She does well when it comes to having multiple heroes in formations, meaning if you're fighting, 3 or 5 heroes on the enemy side, she can do pretty well when it comes to the damage, survivability, SP effect, things like that. If you're going in there and you are only fighting one single boss, she doesn't have the ability, and she's really not doing a good showing in there based on just having one boss. I'm debating whether to get Shemira or Athalia. So that's the big thing, Hoppit, is when you look at the Awakened version of Athalia, and I know this is the Q&A, guys. I love the Q&A. When you look at the Awakened version of Athalia, she is being used everywhere. Now remember that where Shemira, we're seeing her in a couple different game modes, but even the game modes where we are seeing the Awakened version of Shemira, we are also seeing the Awakened version of Athalia. And again, the Awakened version of Athalia being used in every game mode, even looking at our Treasure Scramble teams, looking at some of the top ranked teams in here, we are seeing the exact same where Shemira is being used in some of these formations. Let's see, where are they at? So looking down here, and there is Robin. So just a moment on Robin Hood, guys. And there's Athalia, the Awakened version of Athalia. There's Shemira right there. Now, one of the things to note is it's kind of a split decision on Robin Hood at this point. Robin Hood has been used for a lot of whales, and Robin Hood has also not been used in formations. So a lot of players are kind of split on the viability or the utility that we see with Robin Hood. And again, this was kind of over on Reddit. It was kind of over on Discord, a bunch of different places that Robin Hood, he's going to be worked into a couple formations. And again, there are a few larger players that are using Robin Hood. There are some larger players that are not using Robin Hood at all. So it's going to be pretty interesting where you see the dynamic and where you see Robin Hood actually falling into. Now, with that being said, guys, get Robin Hood for free. He should be right there. I think we have like another 30 days to the exchange. Big thing with getting the hero, and again, I just kind of look at history. So when Joker and Queen came out, Queen was not used at all. There wasn't anywhere that we used Queen. She was a hero that nobody really used from the get-go. Most players built out Joker. Took about 6 months, maybe a little bit longer than 6 months, but it took about that long to actually see the utility and see the viability of Queen. Once she got into the 5-pole, once she got into some of the Cursed Realm formations, Queen was the number one to have. So like I said, it might take a little while to get Robin Hood into formations. I think we will. And again, some of it could also be really important or really dependent on what we see in the future with future hero releases, that Robin Hood could have a lot more viability in the future, which is the reason why I say, guys, get the hero for free. If it is only resources that you're using, it's going to be a lot cheaper than actually buying them out of the store. Because of course, when the exchange for Robin Hood is complete, it's going to go into the store, meaning that you're going to be able to exchange. And I believe he is going to be in the Challenger store, if I'm not mistaken. But he's going to be in the store to get there. But even in the Challenger store, you're talking 1 million plus tokens, or what, 1 million even, to get the 4 copies that you do need of him. So it's very, very expensive to get him out of there. And it's going to take a long time to get those Challenger tokens. Just like we've seen before, guys, it takes a long time to farm up these heroes. So any chance that you do have to get the hero and get the hero for free, absolutely, I'd pick up the hero. Who is signature? Raku. I would do out of those Harris, I would do Naruko. So the big thing is when you look at Raku doesn't have a lot of viability anymore. Mishka is good, but doesn't really require the plus 30 signature item. This one, it's good if you have it, but overall not really a huge requirement. Naruko is still a primary hero used in a ton of different formations that I would absolutely do this plus 30 because that is the defensive reduction, which is the reason why players are running her in a bunch of different game modes, Harris, is for this defensive reduction. So it's similar to what like a Warwick does. They stack this defensive reduction. Again, that's the reason why a lot of players do run Naruko, and Naruko is utilized within a lot of different formations. Now, quick buying here, it's weird because I always change up this pre-order list to include right here this 8-hour essence. I'm still at the point where I'm power leveling the account enough to get essence out of here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pick up these essence, and I do 1 shop refresh in here every day. So I spend 100 diamonds right there. I do my quick buy again, picking up a little bit more essence. That is how I run this account every day. I get a lot of questions about it, guys. Going through and doing these fast rewards, we use some diamonds. Going through and doing the shop refreshes, we do the same. We do use a little bit of diamonds in there, but the return for the diamonds we're using is pretty solid because we have the ability to actually make progression a lot faster. How good is the new Graveborn? So far, the new Graveborn has been doing incredibly well. Yeah, the new Graveborn, Lady Simona, again, when you have a hero that has a massive energy increase or a massive energy return, it's going to be big. As a new Graveborn hero, it's going to be big, and she is doing quite a bit of damage in the formations. Now, one question I got for you guys. So looking here, guys, we have the dream tokens. So Frampton is really the one that I've been focusing on buying. Frampton is now at 5 stars. So we have Frampton to 5 stars. So I want to know, who should we get out of here, guys? Should we get, and again, should we get copies of Zap? Should we get copies of Frampton? And the reason I kind of wonder about Frampton when it comes to the twins and when it comes to Leo Frick, which I don't think anyone uses anymore, but who should we get, guys? Let me know. And again, I'm trying to get the polls up. I'm trying to do a couple of pretty interesting new things here, and I want to see twins Frampton, and the last one is Leo Frick. There we go. Let's pop it up, guys. The reason is, one of the reasons to think is when we get additional copies of heroes, we can actually go in here and I can utilize the copies of Leo Frick, or excuse me, of Frampton to actually swap for other heroes. So this says no excessive celestial or hypogen heroes, but because I already have Frampton at 5 stars, every 3 copies, or no, wait, is it every 2 copies? I'm thinking it's every 3. So every 3 copies that I get from Frampton, I could swap for whatever Celestial or Hypogen that I could get, which means every 3 copies would be saving me probably, I would say 50 to 70 Stargazer scrolls, or the equivalent amount of diamonds. What's that? 35 to 45,000 diamonds by getting copies of Frampton. Now the twins and a lot of the other ones, the twins I have, I believe, at 3 stars already. So we do have them built out quite a bit. Leah Frick, I didn't build at all, guys. We have 2 copies of him right here. And then, of course, Zephyriel is the same. I believe he's at 2 stars right now, just based on the copies that we get. And it looks like a lot of players are leaning towards the twins. We'll give it a couple more minutes on the poll, guys. But we can definitely build up the twins. Once we get the twins, 4 more copies up to 5 stars, then we can actually go and build a couple more heroes out of there. Which again, a lot of these are just naturally picking up more stars. Even like Ulna, we got more stars. Twins, even looking at Zephyriel, looking at Audrey, Moriel, all of those stars that we have on those heroes are just from natural pulls. That most of them we got out of the stones. But let's do a couple summons in here, and I want to pop open the stones. I'm going to save the rest of my choice hero cards, and the reason being, you know what? I'm going to go in here and I'm going to do furniture. And I'm thinking the furniture with the new hero that we got coming is going to be very important. I am always out of Pokecoins, guys. As much as I push and as much progression as we make, I'm going to save these faction choice cards for the new hero. But I do want to pop the stones. We're going to go ahead and use the stones in here. Fingers crossed, guys. Superb Elite Stones. These are really the ones to buy, either the Elite or the Superb Elite. I don't like the new ones, even with a higher percentage, because you get so many unusable. So 1 pull here, guys, which gives us a copy of Hodgkin, just going to be food right there. 5 pulls right here, which doesn't give us anything but food. Most of the summons that we do are just like that, guys. Most everything we get is just food at this point. I'm just continuing to recycle all of the heroes that we get out of there. So it looks like 51% is on, 53% is on the twins. So let's go ahead, guys. I will pick up a copy of the twins. And again, we can get them maxed out to 5 stars. Twins, I know, still have a incredibly high utility in there. Now, I have also been purchasing out Essence. I don't have enough for the baits. But if you look, guys, if you're getting everything within the Dream Realm or the Dream Corridor, you can get the cards, you can get the Stargazer cards, you can get a Celestial or a Hypogen, you can even get some red chests out of here. I've been buying out my Twisted Essence because, again, leveling up and power leveling the Elder Tree has made a really big difference, but that will do it for where we're at within here, guys. So Guild Store gear at this point is kind of a moot point. We do have 2 pieces right in here. I've been buying some of the dimensional gear. Tier stones, I have all of them. So I'm at the point where I've stockpiled a ton of my tier stones. Here we just need to recycle some more heroes. Again, I've been buying Twisted Essence out of here as well as Pokecoins. Challenger Store, we almost have enough. We have Ulna, and then we do have Mortis to buy. Everything else in here is completed in its entirety. Will the new hero come out Tuesday? Yes. New hero will be Tuesday. Frampton is usable in some formations. Frampton is still being used. Most of the time when we see Frampton, it is within the combination with Matria. So that's kind of the combination if they're running Frampton. Trying to beat 50, 60, and that, yes, Respin is super tough, guys, because he has the shield. There's a couple heroes that when you fight him in the campaign, Darkblade, are super pain in the butt. Respin is one of them, and Ullard is one of them. So when you talk about campaign formations and an absolute pain in the butt hero, he is another one that is very, very difficult to use within the campaign. Still having a lot of issues. Do you think I should swap Reku for the new Graveborn? So the big thing is you can't do the swap if you have the scroll till after 60 days. So remember, guys, if you have that swap scroll, you cannot swap heroes till 60 days up after release. Is the general rule. So right here, guys, 189 on our Elder Tree. We have 153 here, 154, 154. I level both of these up early, and we are getting the Elder Tree built, guys. We are getting that tree built. It's been so long that we have been doing that. Which is better, Ivan and Lady Simona? Honestly, Blue, Right now, as of today, Ivan we know is absolutely incredible in the top tier. So Ivan, I would definitely get. Um, is Lady Simona going to be used? Absolutely. But right now it's kind of too early, Blue, to see exactly where she's going to be used. So we could actually see her in a ton of different places. But we know 100% Ivan is going to be used. Absolutely. 100% Ivan is already used. We know Ivan is really in a lot of different comps. Here we have 28,000 again. Looking at our wish list, guys, I am going to save and I'm going to wait to actually build out Lady Simona. So I'm going to save my 28,000 Poke coins in there till we get the new hero so we can actually build it out. Started a new account recently, the guides for the Wandering Bloom. Oh, thank you, Saul. Yeah, the Wandering Bloom, guys, crazy enough, I remember most of the Wandering Bloom by memory at this point. But then again, for a player that runs 8 accounts or had 8 accounts, we ran through it a lot. We have done a lot when it comes to running through a lot of different game modes. We have run it. When can I unlock the Dream Store? So I believe the Dream Store requires 30 Ascended Heroes. It's 30 Ascended Heroes or a certain amount of progression for the Dream Store. If you go to the Dream Realm or the Nightmare Corridor, it tells you when you can unlock it. So there is actually a requirement when you go in here, I believe, even before you get here, right there. The Resonating Crystal level 350 or 30 Ascended tier heroes. That is what you need to unlock the Nightmare Corridor, which goes hand in hand with that Dream Store. Who should I build first, Awaken Leica or Sophia? Honestly, out of those two, either one of them, you're going to do well. So the big thing is Sophia for the Mauler Tower is going to make a huge difference. Absolutely, Sophia is going to make a difference where Leica does have a lot of effectiveness, but the Wilder Tower can do well without having Leica, which is kind of a trade-off in there. Who should I give E30 to first? Orin or Crescio? I would do Orin. The big reason with Orin, guys, is Orin does incredibly well in a lot of different game modes. Crescio was used in a couple different formations, but at this point, pull the trigger. You're not going to find Crescio in a lot of places short of the Mauler Tower. It seems like even the Nightmare Corridor he's been worked out of, as well as some other places in AFK Arena. We are not seeing him used in a lot of different places anymore. Ullard refuses to die. Yes, Harris, 100%. That is the problem, guys, with Ullard. Ullard refuses to die. That is exactly what we're seeing. With the shield, most of the time with the shield, you just run out of time to actually kill Ullard, which again is kind of a pain in the butt. So I'm going to sit here, guys. Again, I want to answer a lot of your questions. I'm going to run through the Misty Valley. That way I can have time to answer the questions. I also just completed all my Peaks Time of Wandering Bloom. Oh, you're welcome, Harris. Yeah, like I said, the guides I love. Lindsay, I just want to say thank you for all the great videos. I usually watch them while doing my AFK Daily. Thank you, Lindsay. Thank you for the shout out. And supporting the channel. I see your little hippo right there. I use her guides and videos all the time. What's going on, Asta? So Light Bearers, 15 seconds. In this place, guys, like we've said time and time again, this is going to be your absolute #1 biggest point in AFK Arena where you can farm. This offers so much more loot. I'm hoping the new game modes that are coming are going to have the same, that we're going to see an overabundance of loot in the game modes. But guys, you have to farm this. This has been on rotation for an incredible amount of time now. And all of the freebies you get out of here, it's crazy. It is absolutely crazy the amount of loot that they give away in this, including getting the free copy of a hero, guys, but getting my beast food. And this is where, again, I get a lot of the baits. And do not underestimate the baits. I feel like a lot of players really underestimate the baits that we get out of game modes, and really the underestimation, I guess, of the heroes or of the beasts themselves. I underestimated the beasts incredibly, and my progression suffered when it came to the Cursed Realm and the Nightmare Corridor. Since I've been building up the beasts, I've been a lot more competitive in there, especially when it comes to multiple teams. Are you ever going to do a new faction account? And if yes, Greyborn. So I have all the old school faction accounts. Right now, guys, I don't have the time, French Core. That's kind of the problem, is just having time between, you know, doing YouTube on here with AFK Arena and also doing the finance channel that we have, Furry Hippo Finance. It takes a lot of time. It does take a lot of time, a lot of commitment to do it. But I love doing both of the channels. Would I start a new account? Maybe, but we'll have to see in time what it is going to look like. Jerome or Naruko, who should I send first? Will both of them being in different levels? Jerome, Nakamura will do better, a lot better earlier. So Naruko will do incredibly well within the Mauler Tower. Jerome needs to be built up, and Jerome just supports where Naruko will do it himself. I mean, honestly, Naruko would be my choice out of there, just because we know Naruko is going to do incredibly well. Now, this one, we need Brutus, and we need Aziz up in here. The original version of Aziz, there we go. Yeah, and that's my thought, Harris, is I really did underestimate the importance of baits in AFK Arena. Once I started building them out, it's an absolute game changer. It honestly is an absolute game changer. When you look at the builds within the beast, it works incredibly well. There we go. So we'll grab a few in here. And again, I'm trying to do all these challenges together. We'll do here. We'll grab these two. There we go. Yeah, I've seen you've been gone from the Wilder. Yeah, it's the Wilder account. The Wilder account, I hopped on, I did some of the dailies. So I'm making sure that I go on there, and I picked up all of those 50 free time emblems. I've done some of the maintenance. I think it was about 3 weeks that I was gone from the faction accounts. But again, the time constraints of running all of the accounts is incredibly time consuming, but we are getting there. Which heroes do you think should have their classes changed? Their classes, I think Walker needs to be a Ranger, since it's Walker Texas Ranger. That would be pretty funny. But what I've noticed is that with a lot of the heroes in here is they seem to run very common with the mages being support. So some of the mages are support, where some of the support are a lot more of like a mage. So I think it kind of has to go hand in hand with the elder tree that we have and the buffs that they get. Shemira being a tank, I'm still kind of questioning the reason behind making Shemira a tank. The kind of, again, the Lilith logic behind not making her a mage or not making her a damage dealer. Even though she does a little bit, I'm not 100% sure the reason why the tank. Just like a few of the heroes that you just kind of question for a minute exactly why they made the hero. Like when they made Taylene back as a tank. I know there's a ton of people that kind of question that. Was this Wilders? Yeah, it is Wilders. But again, making like Taylene a tank, the awakened version of Taylene a tank. Good questions. Is that test server account? No, this is not the test server account. Nope, this is the regular YouTube account. Sorry, 15, not level 12, about my previous comment. What do you mean, Blue? I'm not sure, because I seen the lady Savannah and Ivan. There we go. How many baits do you need to level to 9 to 12 for all 6 beasts? It is a lot. It is an incredible amount, because a lot of it, you can't really go from the beast, because there are going to be some RNG to where you're going to get them, Blue. It's going to be to the point of how many baits do you need? And at that, it's probably 10,000 plus baits to actually get the heroes built up a little bit further. It takes a lot. There's a lot of beasts. And honestly, the beasts are not something that a majority of regular players are going to power level, and are going to power level very fast, short of dumping a insane amount of money in there to build out the beasts. I mean, we've been playing this on a regular basis since the beasts were released, and I have 3 that are at 18. Most of them are at 15, but we're a long ways off from getting them to 18. So again, similar to the engraving aspect, similar to the beasts, there are things in this game that are meant to take time, and that's what I think a lot of players don't realize, or a lot of players kind of forget about. A lot of the things in this game are meant by design to take a lot more time. I heard there's some kind of pet spice trick. So the pet spice trick is to over level some pets before you do the residence to get it returned to build up some other ones. That's really the way to do it. It's not so much a trick, I guess, but it's a way that you can do it. So what you do, pull the trigger, which let me do this last stage and I'll show you kind of what we mean. Kill one frontline enemy. And we have some Celestials and Hypogens in here. We'll go ahead and we'll pop some of these in here. Usually a Thalia can drop a frontline enemy pretty quick. We'll go ahead and we'll just drop some other heroes in here and see what we get. Yeah, I don't understand the logic sometimes, Nikos, just like you said. I kind of wonder. And again, some of this, it just takes random RNG on some of these. And I don't think Thane is going to be the best one because Thane, oh, and we put Frampton in there. That's not going to work either to kill a frontline hero. I'm wondering if we just go literally straight support in here. Or you know what? Let's go ahead and buff him up. Some buffs there. We'll get some buffs there for Athalia. We'll get some follow for Athalia. And we'll get some damage amplification for Athalia. What's going on, Andre? What do you think the next collab will be and what collab? That's a very, very tough question for the next collab. I'm hoping they go with some of the bigger titles. I know there's a lot that goes into the collaboration, but I hope they do some bigger titles with some bigger, more current games. I know in the past there's been some anime crossovers, there's been some regular gaming crossovers, but I hope they do a massive popular game. I think it would be awesome. I think it would be really cool to see. And look at them using Shemira in here as a carry. What do we got here? This is using Rem and Ainz. You know what? I'm going to copy this formation. Let's go ahead and use Rem and Ainz in here. And again, just kind of playing around with this. I really hope some of the formations or some of what we started, some of the crossovers are just bigger games. Honestly, whoever picked up both of them, Shemira and Athalia, I won't go wrong. Took a break from the game like a month or two, which made me want to wake. Yeah, that's part of it, Hoppit, is if you're taking a break, which we can do this one later, guys. I'm going to go ahead and collect these. We'll pop open some stones, and we will go ahead and see if we can get another hero in here, guys. Boom. We have one more stone, which is just food. Sylvana again. Let's pop open our chests in here. We can go and make some campaign progression. I know we've been talking a little bit about starting to make some more campaign progression, but I do want to do the beast summons. We want to hop in here and I want to knock out these beast summons. Hi, today we start later. So today, guys, most of you know, if you live in the United States, if you live in, I'm not sure if anyone else does this. Let me know in the comments, guys. So we actually fall back in the fall. Our clocks go back 1 hour. So even right now, it is 1:28 p.m. here. For a majority of people that just have regular time, we don't. In the spring, we spring forward an hour. We actually move our clocks forward an hour. In the fall, they move the clocks back. Daylight savings time. Don't know why they still observe it. It doesn't seem like there's really much of a reason for it. But the time is off for probably the next 6 months, 4 to 6 months. They do have a date, but the date varies depending on when it is. So Alfredas, yes, the time for me is an hour early. And for everybody else, it's kind of thrown off. There you go. So some other places, what's going on, Alpha? Thank you for joining us for the stream. Yeah, some other places have it. Some places don't. And some places do it at different dates, which is weird too, because there's also a couple places in America where they don't observe daylight savings time. So literally there's a few places where it can be 12 o'clock here and it'll be 1 o'clock somewhere else in the same country, even in the same state, which again is kind of crazy. Again, some places I know the time doesn't change. Some places they do, which is just, again, I find it super confusing because now it throws off my schedule for a while. We have 950 baits in here, guys. Now we are just looking to continue building all of these to 18. That is all we're doing. We did it last weekend. And exactly, Connor, it's kind of weird because it's not set either. I figured with the time, with the time zones around the world, it's weird that it changes in so many different places. And then, like I said, a lot of places, it doesn't change at all. There we go. There's a copy of the Radish. Radish, again, not a huge priority hero to build, or not a priority beast to build, but we want to try to get a few copies. So hopefully we can get them to 18 and actually pick up the animated avatar frame. That was the other one with trying to get these beasts up to 18. So when a new beast comes out, I'm going to try to save some of these and actually build them out. So Spider, what do we need? Another 3, and Spider will be to 17. We have the Radish in there, and I think Talisman 3 of 4. We could actually take him to 15. And then we have 1 of 4 for the beast. So again, we have 3 already that is built to 18, and we're going to continue the push, guys. I would probably say, looking at the amount of baits that we get, we're probably thinking 3 to 6 more months before we get these guys to 18. By then, of course, we're going to have a lot of additional beasts in here, but this is just going to be a very slow progression that we see with the beasts, honestly. Oh, we do the same. Oh, Australia does the same. Will Simone become a wish list priority like Ivan? Harris, I know it is very early with Lady Simona, but overall, guys, honestly, it seems like she is going to be a very high wish list priority, or even looking at the desired hero summons, which here I believe we have a couple left in here. This reset to 8, I'm saving my card here. So when she pops up, I am going to get all 8 of my draws out of here. That is, of course, going to give us 4 copies of Elite Plus with 8 heroes, which means we'll be able to build her to Ascended just out of here. Hopefully with some summons, hopefully with some RNG with all the cards we have. We'll actually be able to get a couple more copies out of there based on the heroes. But now we are up to 8 hero choice, which is awesome to see, guys. These ones we are just saving, and then of course time emblems we're building up for the next one that is coming next year. Wasn't able to catch you last week, but a chance to get Awakened Shemira for us. You're the bro. Thanks for the content. Oh, thank you, Clay. Thanks for joining us for the stream, guys. Now remember, if you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We try to get 5. Every time we do the stream, we try to get 5 new subscribers on here. We're at 35,400, so it's kind of insane how many subscribers that we already have on this channel. This is a better time for me since when I get off. Yeah. What's the optimal build? We'll have to see. When she comes up on Tuesday, I'll do my short like I do for all the other heroes. Right now, again, Lady Simona is kind of in the test build with the test server. How do I get 8 when you only get 6? It is VIP level, hop it. If you guys remember the video, guys, we are on 16 right now, which 16 does give us 1 additional pull out of there. So if you look at our VIP 16 privileges, which we hit, I believe 2 or 3 weeks ago now, VIP 16 does give us 1 more additional, somewhere in here, 1 more additional hero to actually pull out of here, which does give us the 8. We had 7 for a while, so we were running into 1 short, but now we're at 8. That is right, hop it. That is why we're getting 1 more. In my opinion, they released too many heroes. So they've been on the schedule, and it's been 2 years, 2.5 years, that they've actually been on the exact same release schedule with the heroes. They have actually released them every 2 weeks, and that's where they've been. They have literally been there. Where am I at a Temple Rift? I was at 100. So the Temple Rift, I was at 100. I haven't pushed any further in the Temple Rift. I know we got some more of our resources out of here. I think I capped right here to 15. But as far as the Temple Rift, I was at 100. I didn't do any more progression. But we got team 1, team 2, team 3. And you know what? I'm going to auto battle this for a little bit because I like to make the regular progression on here. And we'll see how far this can go through. Very nice, Alpha. The animated avatar frame for Shemira. It's always a goal. It is really the very, very first goal, guys, that you want to get. Some of those animated avatar frames. That's the reason why we build some of the new heroes, to actually pick up some of those animated avatar frames, even though you can only use 1. That's one of the big things, is you can only use 1, which is kind of crazy. Next year, First Awaken is Wukong for sure. I would like that. So Krantz, and it's funny over here. So if you guys have played a lot of different titles, Wukong is depicted very differently in a lot of different games. Even looking at Lilith, looking at Farlight Games, when you look at the Wukong that we have over in this light versus the Wukong that we see in AFK Arena, the Wukong we have here is super weak and inefficient. in comparison to a lot of the other heroes that we see. So it would be pretty cool. I mean, honestly, considering Flora, considering Wukong, that they're not used for anything, yeah, I would definitely, I would definitely like to see Wukong. I think that would be pretty cool. I'm 1080 in the 4 faction towers and 780 in the Celestial Hypogean. More are coming Tuesday, Alfredus. So I'm around the same. I think I'm almost about the same for where you're at. I'm at about 1080 in the towers. Only one I'm lacking a little bit is the Hypo Tower, because again, I haven't had time to even auto run it. I haven't really focused on building it or actually pushing through it at all at this point. Is it worth swapping Lucretia for Liberta as free to play? I'm not sure. Can you swap? I'm not sure, Samuel, if you can swap them. Would it be worth it as free to play? In my opinion, yes. Just for the simple fact that Lucretia is not really being used anymore. Now, with that being said, you might struggle with the Hypo Tower if you do the swap in there. You might actually, you might struggle quite a bit within that Hypo Tower if you do not have Lucretia built. Lucretia, for a majority of players, is that second tower to make progression. Did you see the new Dolly dialogue about the musician missing Awakened Angelo? Too early, Harris. So we usually do about every 2 months for an Awakened hero. That is 2 weeks off from Lady Simona coming out. So it could be a Lightbearer hero, but I believe it's going to be a Wilder. So again, if you look big picture at AFK Arena, they skipped over the Wilder hero that should have been released when Lady Simona came out. They skipped over the Wilder, which means the missing musician, or the musician missing with the new Dolly dialogue, it should be a Wilder hero. We should be in time, in tune for a Wilder hero that should be coming. So I'm assuming it is going to be a Wilder hero. We're going to have to see exactly what it is. Awakened hero, again, it's going to be way too early because they're on a like 2-month rotation, and looking at the days when Shemira came, yeah, it's a little bit Awakened. There you go. So Primo is saying we're going to have the double Awakened disease because he's still sleeping after the release. Yeah, talk about a super disappointing hero, guys. I even built that Awakened version of Aziz when he came out versus Taylene, hoping he would be efficient. He wasn't at all, and I know a lot of players were super disappointed with the Awakened version of Aziz, which unfortunately players are still not using him. Even within the tower, he doesn't work very well. He really doesn't work very well as a hero, even within the tower. Crazy to think I've been getting engraving mats faster than I can get red chest. Yeah, red chest doesn't cost as much. That's the big thing on Pull the Trigger. Is when you look at your engraving mats, so when you look at your cores, you need 4,500. Red chest, you only need 300, so it's a lot easier to go in there. What is going on, Matthew? Thank you for joining us for the stream. Next Awaken should be a Mauler. Depends on the rotation. So from the year 1 Awakened into the year 2 Awakened, they did not follow the same schedule. And they might not follow the same schedule in the year 3 Awaken or the 3rd season of the Awakened Heroes. So it might be interesting. It could be a Mauler, but overall, I think we're going to see some RNG. And I would also like to see, who do you think? Honestly, you know, for the Celestials, I know we were talking about Wukong, but who is your thoughts? I mean, what is the question in there? Who is going to be? Let's see what people think, guys. Little bit of Q&A, and I popped this out. I'm, again, trying to do this. Who's the next Awakened hero? So who are you thinking when it comes to the Awakened heroes? Who is it going to be? In which faction? Who do you think is going to be next? So again, when we look at the Awakened heroes, we know that the last one that we just got was our Graveborn. We had to wait an entire year for the Graveborn hero. So who do you think that it is going to be for that Q&A? Who is going to be the next Awakened hero? I definitely want to see Mizoth. So there you go. Mizoth would be a pretty interesting one to see for the Hypogeans. Having an Awakened version of Mizoth, or even having an Awakened version of A Leofric would be very interesting. Again, just thinking of the heroes that nobody ever uses in at all. And even here, guys, another hero that absolutely nobody uses, the giant wall tank that nobody used. But here is the Realm of Decimation. It is going to be hard, guys. It says it is going to be challenging. Be warned. Awakened Ulard. Yeah, there you go. As many players that hate Ulard and dealing with Ulard, that would be pretty interesting to see how that would work. Awaken Frampton, that would be, Nikos, that would be a pretty good choice. Awaken Pippa. There you go. Mauler, Kasos, or Warwick. Yeah, I would love to see Warwick, just for the simple fact Warwick has been used a lot. I would like to see Kasos hop it, or I would like to see Nemisu. I think even this iteration with the Awakened version of Sophia, I would like to see the Awakened version of Nemisu with some very, very strong totems. I think that would be a really cool support hero, or even if they took him out of support, made him a mage, made him something like that. I think Lucius, there you go. Awaken to Lucius, Awaken Rigby Jaffa. That's a pretty good one. Pretty good, Kooky. What is going on? Awaken Gwen. Yeah, Gwen would be a very solid one as well. Most players, again, if you kind of came through the years with AFK Arena, Gwen was a massive hero, guys. That players used for so long. That used to be the carry. Gwen used to be a carry once upon a time, guys. Awaken Walker, so Awaken Awaken Walker, so Awaken Disease is not the worst. Again, that would be pretty interesting. Yes. Krantz, if you know, again, we've talked about this before. When it comes to summoning heroes, so when it comes to Baden, when it comes to the Awakened version of Solus, even games outside of AFK Arena, I have always loved the summoning heroes. It's something that I've played, even Dark Age of Camelot. I played a summoner in there. Even Ultima Online, going way back, was a summoner. Even looking at, at World of Warcraft, anyone that could summon, I have always kind of went to. The Awakened version of Scarlet. Tommy is going straight to replace the Awakened version of Belinda in there with that Awakened version of Scarlet. How many accounts do we play? Right now, we are doing 3. Right now, we have 3. We have the YouTube account, I have the wishlist account, and the free-to-play account are the 3 that we're playing right now. Again, depending on time, but we're down to 3 guys for the amount of accounts that we played. And we know today on the test server, I still run the test server account, but I don't really count that one. Yeah, we do 3. We run 3 right now. We need an Awaken, Awaken Muriel or Morella. Is that what we're thinking in there? Awaken Tassie. There you go. Awaken Tassie versus Awaken Disease. I love when Gwen came out. Yes, when Gwen came out, especially the combination of Hendrik. Very interesting. Have you played Ido Heroes? Yes. So Ido Heroes, I played for probably about a year. Actually have a lot of the maxed out heroes in Ido Heroes. But it's been years. I'm talking a multitude of years since I played Ido Heroes. Now, in comparison, guys, if you have played Ido Heroes in comparison to AFK Arena, Ido Heroes is very pay to win for the aspect that there are things in Ido Heroes that you cannot get, that you have 0 probability of getting in Ido Heroes unless you're putting money into the game. 0. A lot of the skins in there stats were on skins. Skins were 100% pay to win. You had to purchase the skins in the game to get the stats that came with the skins. And there was no choice. Even a lot of the events, you couldn't get any of the top loot or even have an opportunity to get decent loot in there unless you had to pay, which I didn't like. That was one of the drawbacks to Ido Heroes. I had a couple of heroes in there that I loved. I like the gameplay of Ido Heroes. I like the game overall, but it was very heavy pay to win. Next Awaken, K-Sauce, Kaz, Thorin, Rigby, Titus, and Leofric. There we go. I want to see Ulmus. Guys, the Awakened version of Ulmus would be kind of crazy in there to see. There you go, the Awakened Dolly. So if you had the ability to awaken Dolly, you could actually go, and I'm surprised that AFK Arena has never done this, is a lot of games, including Dragon Hair, guys, if you have checked out Dragon Hair, It's a really cool Dungeons and Dragons game, and most of you know that I grew up playing Dungeons and Dragons. I was a paladin. I was a dungeon master for an incredible amount of time for a lot of my friends. But it was really cool, and it's a really cool game that I put over on my mobile gaming channel, the other channel. But I've enjoyed playing it so far, and it really rings true to the Dungeons and Dragons aspect of it, which was cool. What's going on, guys? Do you think old heroes have outdated SI and engraving? Like only number increases. They have to do something, Kwam, with the older heroes, or they're just gonna die out. Even when you look, guys, like when we did the November tier list, if you look at the bottom, when you look at the C, the D, the E tiers, um, they are starting to literally stack with heroes that are getting 4 rows thick with the heroes that we're not using anymore. Yeah, they definitely have outdated heroes. Now, there was a point where Lilith in AFK Arena were reworking older heroes. We've seen it with a lot of different heroes, that there were actually a lot of heroes that were reworked. There was to a point where I believe it was a letter from the editor, or it was something from the developers that said that they were no longer going to rework older heroes, that all the other heroes, we were waiting for Omis, we were waiting for Cirrus, we were waiting for Kaz, we were waiting for a lot of the older heroes to get reworks, which never came. They said at a point they were no longer doing the reworks. And again, all of those older heroes that were left as is never got reworks and never got adjusted through gameplay. I know it'll be a while. Wait until it happens. Might never happen. Next Graveborn hero. Yeah, the awakened version of Daemon. I would love to see that as well. But again, Daemon with utility. There's so many heroes, even looking at Isabella, that I would like to see. An awakened version of Pharrell, I think, would be an absolute monster. There's a few heroes in there. Absolutely. You should try Tower of God. New, very fun game like AFK Arena. I'll have to try it out, guys. If there is, drop some titles in there. I've been testing out a lot of different games. Seeing exactly what they're about. Again, Dragon Air is one that I've been playing a little bit. But yeah, definitely, there's a lot of cool games, and they come out like crazy, guys. I mean, if you look at the release schedule, it's kind of crazy. You think Lilith would do a Final Fantasy collab? I would love it. Now, I grew up, guys, if you remember, the old school Final Fantasy was like Final Fantasy 1 for the NES, where, you had your white mage, your black mage, your red mage. That's the old school Final Fantasy. I played Final Fantasy, I believe, up to probably about 10 when Final Fantasy started going online. But I played it in Nintendo, NES, Super Nintendo, all of those. Final Fantasy is what originally got me into role-playing games. Way, way, way back when. I mean, you're talking an incredible amount of time, but yeah, Final Fantasy would be cool. I miss when I used to pull the original Brutus. So happy to see them. There we go, guys. So we maxed it out. So we have 5 more days before we can make some more progression in the Rift. And again, based on the heroes that I have, I knew it would be pretty easy to go through here. But that gives us, what, another 40 floors. Tons of loot in this game mode, which is awesome to see. Award swap, we are just getting all of our time emblems, and I will continue getting all the time emblems out of here. It is really the priority to get out of here. Any place you can stack these time emblems is priority. Has to be priority. A new dimensional will be Dave Mustaine. Very, very nice, Tommy. So we're going to have Dave Mustaine coming in as a dimensional hero, which again would be a pretty interesting to see exactly what would come out of that. So rank 1 chest out of here. You know what? I'm going to go the essence because we have quite a bit of an engraving mats. And then in here, just like we said earlier, I'm going to go baits. That is going to give me 200 more baits out of there. Then, of course, we have a lot more twisted essence as we're continuing to level up 155, guys, with the Elder Tree. Absolutely just continue power leveling the Elder Tree nonstop. So we did get our copy of the twins, which again, 1 closer to being 5. A lot more food in there to build out. And again, going in here just to recycle. And I'm wondering if we have enough to recycle. Let's run through, and I'll show you what I mean by recycle, guys, what we do out of here. Can you say something and show us your temporal beacon? Yeah, so the temporal beacon is just the primary one. So the only temporal beacon that I build on all of my accounts is Trade Enhancer, guys. These are all zeros. I have more than enough because again, the purchase that you get out of here, but even looking at the room, they're all zeros. Literally on the free to play account, on the wish list account, on this account, I only build trade enhancer. That's it. I don't build anything else. Final Fantasy 7, 8, or 9 are my favorite. Yeah, very, very cool with the Final Fantasy games. I would love to see that crossover. That would be really cool. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4 in 1. Nothing to do there, but here we have a lot, guys. We're going to take goalless, and again, all of these double copies. We're going to go ahead, and I'm going to recycle these, because remember, all of these other heroes are already at 5 stars, meaning that the bonus copies we have, even looking at these two, we are not going to use anymore. But these Legendary Plus copies, we are going to use a lot, which I'll show you guys in just a minute. So we'll use Oku and Raku. And again, the recycling of these heroes is going to give me the ability to actually purchase some other things. So what do we have? We have 2 copies right here, Theowin, and there is Shemira. All right, so there we go. So once we get all of these copies in, remember, I keep 2 copies of Legendary Plus heroes in the Rickety Cart. So looking to retire, we have 1, 2, 3. We have 4 in here, so I'm going to save those 2. 1, 2, 3. We have 4 in here. I'm going to use goalless. 1, 2, 3 in here, and then Graveborn, same 1, 2, 3. That gives me 138,000 hero coins, guys, which is crazy. How many days have we played this account? Just about 4 years. We have got there. Can you show me which comp you use on your free-to-play account to get dream stores? I can only get 200K per cycle. So, Gizo, what I do in there is I have to swap a lot of the heroes on the free-to-play account to get the achievements. So kind of treat it as not scoring so high, but going in there and changing up the formations to get everything in there. Your streaming ability is off the chart. Now I'm stopped talking for an hour. Oh, thank you, Marco. This is what I do for a living, guys. I do YouTube, but I talk all day long. Literally, being a manager in a financial institution, I talk forever. I know a lot of people say, hey, how do you talk for so long? I've done it for so long. It's kind of crazy, but yeah, I definitely love it. And I look forward to this. I look forward to doing the live streams on here. It is very cool. You should definitely play Guardian Tales. I've never played Guardian Tales, haven't even heard of it. But in here, like we said, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to buy these out, guys, giving us another 1,000 Twisted Essence out of there, which means 55 right there. 156, that's what? 2, 3, I think that's 5 levels we've added today alone on the Elder Tree. So very, very cool. Again, trying to stay competitive. So Arena of Heroes, again, Treasure Scramble season has ended. But what I do is I go through here and Gigo, and it's not Go-Go. It looks like he changed his name back, but it's pretty funny because I know they watch my videos because they commented on it. Gigo right here. I go through the heroes that I have within my battle history, and I look at what heroes I can build up higher, which include a +30 engraving or a +60 engraving, even looking like at Ivan, looking at Palmer. There's going to be a few heroes that I continue to build, the heroes that I'm using within this game mode to try to continue scoring higher in this game mode. Specifically, again, the PvP aspect in here is very high. And that is also the reason why I've built some of these heroes up a little bit higher, like the Awakened version of Belinda going to the 80 engraving, is because we wanted to get this Endeavor ability, which of course is going to power up where we can rank within these different game modes. I feel like I'm at the point where to remain competitive in a lot of different places, I need a lot more elemental cores. That is the reason why we get them out of the Noble Society, and we continue making our progression through there. And there is 806, guys. We're already 800 levels through and continuing progression nonstop. So Primo, I tried that. I tried Reverse 1999. Pretty good, kind of a super in-depth story. But Reverse, again, I'm doing a lot of those on my other YouTube account, the mobile gaming account that I tried some of those out. I have Matria at Mythic Plus. Should I continue building her? Yes. I would absolutely use her and build her. She is still in a lot of formations with Matria, especially since you already have her Mythic Plus. Finish her out and be done with her. Do not stop building any of the Awakened Heroes, guys, midway. You want to and continue to build these heroes out in their entirety. If not, again, she has utility, and she has a lot of utility in different places that you can definitely build them out. I have 2 teams that can beat the boss. I changed that, but my English is bad, so I forget some of the quests, how to beat them. Oh, you can go in there. Yeah, Palmer 60. Now, a lot of players have said that, Gizo. Is getting Palmer to 60 is a big miss on my account. And again, a lot of players have said that because the first 2 enemies that deal damage to the allied heroes will be punished by Divine Light. But I think it is more the stats that we are getting here. And again, I want to see if we're going to require Lady Simona to have the 60 engraving. If she does require that 60 engraving, we'll drop it on her. If not, I'll go ahead. Well, we only have 2,400. Oh, because he's already at 44. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and do it. There we go. So following Gizo's advice right there, we have a 60 Palmer. Going to make a big difference again with the secondary stats that we have within the engraving. This is going to make a big difference again with the crit damage amplification that we love to get with this hero. So there is another 60, guys. That again is going to make a big difference within here. If you haven't heard of, yeah, Guardian Tales, I haven't heard of. Matria is my favorite awakened hero. Yes, Matria again works incredibly well in formations. She is also one that, again, Matria is going to be used, of course, right here in the Infernal Fortress. But she's also used in a lot of one-off formations within the Cursed Realm and the Nightmare Corridor. Not even run with other Hypogean heroes, but is still being kind of, again, one-off on some of the formations that we have in there. Tier 2 stones, like I said, we have a lot, guys. Tier 4, 3, 2. We have a lot of tier stones in here. We're still building up this account a ton. Peaks of Time is all done. Pretty much everything we have in here is done, which I love getting to this point, guys. It is very satisfaction wise. I love getting to the point where I don't have to do anything on the account. All of the dailies are done. Majority of the weeklies we can actually get out pretty quick. I still have a couple more that I need to get out of here for the maximize the pumpkins. And there we go. We need the Graveborn base. And this was RNG, guys, to actually build out the custom requests or to get all of these out. I believe we already have everything out of here. It's cool. I really like the Realm of Denial. I thought that was pretty good out of here. Definitely liked it. It's from the MP from 5. Oh, is that why? It's the MP. So it is and the MP is what he gets out of here, guys. So right here, the Magical Pierce. So there we go, guys. We added what? 1, 2, 3, what? 3.6? 3.6 Magical Pierce. Not only that is, again, stacking the Magical Pierce in here with getting up a little bit higher, but I think I might have already had him there. But that'll make a big difference. Again, maximizing damage in game modes to be competitive. Definitely a huge thing in here. Newbies is done. Treasure Scramble is done. Dreamland Doubles is done. Trial Hero, I still have Bountiful Trials is done. Misty Valley is done. Damon's Gift is done. We're just waiting. Next week will be the wish list account. Very, very nice, Primo. Halfway to getting the animated avatar. Yeah, guys, Shemira, again, as we continue to see Shemira used in a bunch of different game modes, she's well worth the build, honestly, to build her out. And I think we have everything built for her. It's well worth the build just for the fact that we're starting to see her a lot of different places. I know a lot of the Oaken, we're going to, again, build this out once the new hero comes. So we got, what, around 12,000 Poke Coins out of there. But as soon as we drop in our new hero in here, we're going to continue to just build all of these out. Furniture-wise, we're at 918. Guys, we're coming up on 1,000 pieces of furniture. And even these Awakened Heroes, we're continuing to just stack everything on. But I need Ivan furniture. I need Lucila's furniture. I need furniture. I need furniture for everybody. Everybody in here needs furniture. That's why they're in the wish list, guys. Will the new hero launch Tuesday? Yes, Vincent. So Monday, tomorrow will be the patch notes. Tomorrow or Tuesday will be the drop. So that's the way they usually always run it. Monday is the notes. Tuesday is the drop. So that will work incredibly well. Can you show me the best support to play with Ainz? I already have Rowan in the Scarlet team. So the one to run with Ainz is Albedo. So Albedo is still one of the absolute most sought after heroes within AFK Arena. She goes hand in hand with Ainz, which is right here. Enters a rage when Ainz dies. This is Ainz's protection. If you're running Ainz, you have to run Albedo. Albedo will not only give all of the buffs right here for the attack and the defense, but Albedo will especially protect Ainz more than any other hero. This is the best support. Other than that, anyone that you're going to get to really support Ainz with survivability. So a lot of players will actually run crowd control in there. Now, of course, with Ainz, you could run like a Merlin, again, for the defensive aspect of him not having Ainz die out fast. Amelia would be a good choice in there, again, for the crowd control aspect, allowing Ainz to get energy faster and ult faster. There's a couple different ones in there that will work incredibly well. I use Rem, Brutus, Ainz, Leonardo, Amelia. There you go. And that is a good one, Gizo, just for the fact that you have a lot of crowd control. Now, Ezio, I think I'm going to do the 30 on him. And I think for engraving, yeah, we should have enough. So I'm going to go ahead and do the 30 on him. And again, Ezio is starting to be run in a bunch of different formations. We're seeing him in the Treasure Scramble. We're seeing him a couple different places. So getting Palmer higher, getting Ezio built up a little bit further, in my opinion, is going to make a big difference and allow me to continue being competitive within the Treasure Scramble. And let me do my giveaway, guys. I want to make sure that we do not forget to do the giveaway on here. So let's go ahead and hop out. Now, anyone with the memberships that is available in the stream right now has an opportunity to actually get a free membership. We do this every week, guys, and I love doing the membership giveaways. It's really cool to see. Yeah, Ainz Rem, really strong. There's the gifting of the membership, guys. It'll go out to someone in just a moment. We just continue with this, guys, and we're at 368 billion power. That is right. We have the new events that are coming up on the test server tonight, which are going to be entirely new events, so we'll have to see. Estelle gets the gifting membership, so congratulations for the gifting. I've almost finished with Athalia. I'm thinking it'd be Belinda and Shemira. Belinda works well, guys. Belinda is still incredibly well. Which team would you use the new Greyborn energy support? Uppercuts, we're going to have to see. It's going to take a little bit of time before we see exactly where she is being used. But again, there are a lot of different places that we are seeing the new Greyborn over on the test server. Once she comes up on global, give it a couple days, and then we'll see exactly where she's going to be used. I can see, Curse Realm, Nightmare Corridor with the energy regeneration aspect. Absolutely, she is going to be used in both of those. Greyborn Tower, absolutely, she puts out a lot of damage, does a lot of that energy regeneration. Again, it's going to be used in quite a few places. Going to work incredibly well. Again, with those formations, she's going to be a hero to build, guys, and we're going to build her up Tuesday when she does come out on Tuesday. But all right, guys, so that is going to do it for our stream today. Again, guys, thank you guys for joining me. I love doing the streams. I love being able to chat with you guys about AFK Arena. Going to definitely make some more progression. I want to push through 52-25 is where we're at. So looking at some of our recommended formations, a lot of players have been pushing into this chapter. A lot of players have actually pushed through this chapter. They're at 715 right here, and we're at 8+, 806. Going to be easy to get through a lot of this content, especially at the level that we have our heroes built. If it's not the right place, but I have Awakened Belinda, Brutus, and Thane. Should I go for Shemira or Athalia? Honestly, right now, Emmanuel, I would do Awakened Athalia. And the reason being the Awakened version of Athalia, the utility-wise that we see with the hero, and I'm going to let this run. This is a pretty solid team. But utility-wise with the Awakened version of Athalia works incredibly hard. At this point, free to play, it's hard for me to keep up with new heroes. Gizo, and that's it. It's just going to be a point where, you're not going to build all the new heroes out day one, especially as a free to play player. Prioritize the heroes you want to build with the resources that you have. And that's it. That's really all you can do is build out the priority heroes and just go from there. On the, my free to play account, on the wishlist account, there's just a point where you're only going to build out so many heroes in such an amount of time, which again, getting levels built on there, you just have to prioritize what is going to be essentially the most important. Let me see someone around my level. There's 740. I think we're pretty well over leveled. 781. I'm going to drop this one in. And again, we're still pretty over leveled. We could probably push, if we had the time, I'm thinking probably through 1 or 2 entire chapters in here, getting into 54, if not a little bit further. But again, guys, that'll do it for today's stream. Thank you guys for joining me. All the love and support for the channel, guys. 35 going on 36,000 subscribers on the YouTube channel. So it is really cool to see. So guys, have a good weekend. We're actually going bowling this afternoon with my kids' school. So it's going to be really, really fun to go out and bowl. It's been a while. But guys, let me know in the comments what you guys think. And as always, thank you guys for watching.